Can Spotify's algorithm handle multiple genres from one artist, or does it confuse it and actually punish the artist? It's a really great question. As an artist with 400,000 monthly listeners, and I've kind of bounced between heavy nu metal and also hip hop for my TV film songs. And what I've realized is you've got to take that word algorithm and replace it with audience. It's not that the algorithm doesn't like the song or can't handle it. The real question is, can the audience handle it, or is it confusing our fan base, right? Because if I'm listening to a certain artist and they always make pop music, let's just say the Beatles, right? And I'm just such a fan of them and I can't wait to get their new song. And then all of a sudden they release this heavy metal track, or they release something punk, and I'm just so not used to that. And maybe you have bought an artist's album or something like that, and you were expecting this, and you got that, and you're like, yo, what the heck? And I have honestly had fans say to me when I've done different styles, they've literally said, dude, you were onto something with this. Why did you pivot? Like I follow you because I like this, because of this style of music. And when you think about that on Spotify, right? Like fans follow you, they add you to their playlist, they save your song, and you start building this big fan base with a certain style of music, right? And then you go and you release a different style song. And of course, we pitch the song to the editorial playlist and trigger the release radar. So all of our fans get notified of this new song. And they're like, oh, sweet, Manafest has a new song. And they go and listen to it and they're like, what the heck is that? Like, oh, like that's not what I was expecting. Okay, cool. They might give it a chance and then skip. Don't add it to the playlist. Don't play it again. Right? And now, so it starts with the fans, right? And what is Spotify's algorithm, which is basically a whole bunch of data of how your fans are responding to your new song. And they're like, dang, dude, they don't like that song, right? This is why, like, I'll say to artists sometimes when they're like, hey, should I release my instrumentals? I'll be like, yeah, you can release them, but don't release them all as singles, because people don't want to get notified of instrumental. Like, just release it as whole one album and then pitch it, and that's it. Because, like, they're not going to be like, oh, I'm not following you for all your instrumentals. I'm following you because I want to hear you sing. I want to hear you rap. I want to hear you perform, right? And so what we're doing is we're confusing our fans. They're expecting one thing, and then you give them the other. And then Spotify's algorithm now is going to hurt you. Maybe not on that release. It might, like, push it out. But now when you go to deliver it again, are you going to give them the experience that they're expecting? Because now you release another song. Now I'm wondering, okay, are they going to go back to, what I'm used to hearing? It's kind of like this on this YouTube video. Like, you're used to smart music business, and I'm giving you tips on, music, marketing, and business. If all of a sudden I'm making a baking video or a political video, you're going to be like, yo, what the heck, dude? Unless it somehow relates to, touring or music or whatnot. You're going to be like, dude, like, that's not why I followed you. This is the same thing. I look at my wife and my daughter and me. We like watching Mr. Beast. When he releases a new video, we're always quick to click on it, because we know it's going to be good, and he always delivers, right? Now, is every video as good as the other one? Maybe not, but that's the same thing with your songs, right? So you want to feed the algorithm the same thing. You want to get focused on one genre. And I'll give you another example why. Because, like, you might want to do rock. You might want to do hip hop. I'm going to share my screen right now and show you that by focusing on one genre, we got more editorial playlists. So I'm on my artist page right now. We got about 410,000 monthly listeners. And I can tell you I've done a bit of rock and I've done a little bit of hip hop. But my most popular songs, all these songs in the top 10 are all like rock songs, except for this song Take You Higher and this song Edge of My Life. And Edge of My Life kind of blew up in, Asia, and so it continues to do good, but really it's always my rock stuff that is done well. I'm not going to say I've gotten lazy, but I've released a lot of different sync songs for TV and film that are a little bit more hip-hop, but my fans love the rock stuff. This is our latest song, Blow the Doors Off, right? And of course, if we come to my artist profile here, and if I click on music, and I click on here's the new song, Blow the Doors Off. This literally came out last Friday, okay? We got about 11,000 streams. And I pitched this song to the release radar, okay? And I did that inside of my pitching tool here. And so I click playlists, and you can see just within the last 28 days, it's only actually been out less than 7 days. We got 13,000 streams from Release Radar. So this is all my fans that follow me, right? They got a notification that this song was out, and so they streamed it based on whether they liked it or not, based on the artwork. Does this look like a rock song? Yeah, it looks like a Marshall amp, and we just changed it to Manafest and threw some titling on there. And we also ended up getting all new metal, an editorial playlist. We got new, which is another editorial playlist, okay? And then, of course, we got all these other rock playlists that I pitched to via like Submit Hub or just fans that found it, added it, okay? So I really want to say that the riches are in the niches. I'm not saying you can't ever try different styles or whatnot, but it's really important to focus, follow one course until successful. Just from my own experience and what has worked and what hasn't, I found when I'm bouncing in between both, it's like one is always going to rise to the top. One is always going to do a little bit better. And it's just like, lean into that. Now, if like the hip hop stuff worked, maybe I'd lean into that a little bit more, but it's my rock stuff that works and I enjoy making it. So I'm going to lean into that. I'm not just making music for me. I'm making it for my fans. Now, I will preface and say we did try doing a side project to try different genres of music. And honestly, it's really difficult to grow one artist, let alone trying to do another one. So I don't really encourage it. There's a lot of artists that have done side projects that haven't done so well. Okay, I look at Eminem's D12, not nearly as big, and that's actually in the same genre. I look at Blink-182, the guy did Angels and Airwaves. I think the guy from Green Day did a side project. There's tons of other artists that have done side projects, and they normally didn't even do a fraction as good. And just from an artist I've been doing this for 20 years, and I can tell you it takes a lot of effort just to grow one thing, than trying to grow multiple things, because now all of a sudden your attention is cut in half and it takes a lot of effort to get your plane to take off, okay? And the problem why most artists' careers don't grow is because you start and then you stop. You start and then you stop, right? And you don't get enough momentum, you don't get enough buzz for your plane to take off. And I love that plane analogy is because gravity, okay, the doubt, the fear, the work, the hustle, all those things that are keeping you down from success, right? You've got to go fast and hard enough, long enough until you break that law of gravity, which is the law of lift, okay? And a lot of you have not broken into that next level of lift for your plane and your music career to take off because you start, you stop, you pause, and you can't. You got to keep going. And keep going, even when you're exhausted, even when you're tired. The Bible talks about don't grow weary doing good. Okay, stay in this race, run this race. This is not a sprint, it's a marathon. And it just takes a lot more effort than we realize. Like just to get someone to click and play on a song, when I look at the thousands of impressions I need just to get a few hundred people to click, or the millions of impressions I need to get tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands to click, right? Like it really requires a lot more effort and more people to see and hear your music to convert a fan. And so when we do convert that fan, let's keep giving them what they want. Like my mentor says to me, Chris, when something works, don't get bored with it. Get paid with it. And I wish I knew that years ago. It's like if something's working, like even a song, if a song is like crushing it, why are we jumping to another song? If an album is crushing it, why are we jumping to another album? And that was one of the biggest mistakes I made early on in my career. And it wasn't even early on. It was like 10 years in. We had an album that was crushing it. And then I think, I got the Midas touch. Whatever I touch is gold. Yeah, right. We ended up stop promoting one album, which we could have kept pushing, kept going to radio, kept touring, because like my fans still to this day say that I haven't beaten that record. And that's like an ego punch, to be honest. We're going to try and beat it on this next one. But like that's just the game, right? It's like focus on what's working. Like you haven't even given the song a chance to breathe, to get a chance to promote, market it, and you're on to the next one. You're like, oh, okay, the album's done, it's out. And that's why a lot of the time I tell you to release singles, because it does force you to focus and promote that one, or at least it should, because a single normally, it got all the love, man. It got a video, it got a lyric video, it got an ad budget, right? But now we're treating singles not like singles anymore. We're just treating them like we don't care about them. There's no effort, right? And so like when this song came out on Friday, I promoted the junk out of it, man. I went through my song launch checklist, right? And I'm like, okay, we submitted it to the editorial playlist, the curators. We got an editorial playlist. We don't always. We pitched it to indie playlists. Okay, we got a bunch of indie playlists. I was running ads. We got a bunch of streams. The song is out. Crank up the ad budget for the first week. Okay, it's Wednesday right now. It just came out Friday. I still got the ad budget going. Okay, you got the lyric video. Have you reposted the song? Reshared it? Have you sent it to your friends? You know, and I'm asking myself, have I done these things? Do I want to do influencers? Yes or no? You know, do I want to do YouTube ads? Yes or no? Am I going to do these other marketing opportunities, right? Like, what are all the things? Am I going to email the list again? Am I going to send out the SMS? And you might not have all of those things right away, but you do what you can. And the more you stack, you know, did we do a pre-save campaign? Yeah, we did. We did a freaking big one on this one because I wanted to go hard and deep. I believe in this song. And now I ain't releasing the song until 2026, right? And we're going to stay rock focused. You know, when I did my my rock album, I Run With Wolves, and we were really focused on rock, man. That's when we were, I was at 1 million monthly listeners. And, you know, I started pivoting and trying different things. You know what? I got distracted. I got bored. And I stopped letting the main thing be the main thing, right? I think it was Ford who said, put all your eggs into one basket and watch that basket. You know what I mean? Like, you want to focus on one thing, water it, give it sunlight, give it attention, and watch your music career grow.